Hello, everyone, and welcome to Ask the Experts. I know you guys wondering, where have we been? Well, duh, it's been tax season. So yours truly has been extremely busy taking care of the folks in the US, making sure that we meet those deadlines. But it is so good to be back with you guys on Ask the Experts with the AK Legacy Foundation, Women in Business, as we present our next topic of discussion, continuing in our education on various topics. You know, financial literacy will always be near and dear to our hearts. But today we have a fun topic. We're going to talk about pets. We're going to talk about our fur babies. We're going to talk about animals. So yay. So if you know someone who loves animals, please like, share, comment, tag them, tell them to hop on. They need to watch this. We have a phenomenal speaker on today. I am like super excited. This young lady just won she was one of the candidates for a pit challenge. And that's an awesome experience. And I'm not going to get into too much of her accolades. I'm going to let her tell you all about that. But I just want to tell you guys briefly about who we are and why we're here, and so that we can get into our interview, which I know you guys are looking forward to it as well as I am. All right, so the AK Legacy Foundation, you know, I'm the founder, Candy Martin. Hey, everybody. And so today we're going to be dealing with one of our Women in Business projects where we interview women across the land that are making moves and shaking up things and just making making an impact on the world. Not only are they excelling in business, but they're making an impact in the lives of others. And that is our motto. It's not always about money, but money sure does give us an avenue to do the things that we're passionate about, like serving others, helping others. And so the others today just happen to be pets, you know. Others are people too. I've heard somebody say that. I don't know. Okay, argue offline. So here we go. So why are we doing this? I mean, we've never had a session where we talked about pets. It was always, you know, people. So I figured, you know what, we love pets. Just about every member of Women in Business has some sort of a pet. And if we don't have one, we want one or know somebody who has one. So I figured, you know what, let's get some education, because my idea of a pet and how to take care of a pet, I learned through talking with this young lady that I don't know a lot. And I was like, where have you been? You know, this is some information that'll make all of this painless, you know, to have a pet. You know, when your 3-year-old says, Mommy, I want a puppy, some of us panic, you know. So Ms. Twila, she's going to come on and she's going to give us some helpful information, but we're talking about it today because we love pets, all right? And so she's going to give us some education and some inspiration in regards to why I have a pet, how to have a pet, when to have a pet, and all those. I didn't know it was rules to it. You know, I just figured you scoop up the dog and you have a happy life, you know. So there are some rules. And so one of our goals is to connect fur babies with fur parents. So stick around. One of our future goals with Women in Business, we are looking into connecting with agencies and partners such as Ms. Twila about how to connect those that maybe need emotional support of a pet. So that is something that we're looking for. I mean, we're not doing it yet, so don't inundate us with phone calls. This is one of our future goals. We want to be able to have some sort of a program where we can provide I guess Ms. Twila will tell me what's the proper term, but an emotional support dog or some sort, or some people might not like dogs, might want a cat. I don't know if they're emotional support cats. I don't know. So we'll stick around and find out. So I want to bring our speaker for today, Ms. Twila McGee. She is the CEO and founder and FurMom of NOLA Finest Pets. And so here's her website. I want us to be able to go to her website. We'll do that after the interview and kind of peek around and look at it. She does some amazing things. She has some activities and she also has some products. So, and her dog treats almost sounds well enough for us to eat, but they're not for us, they're for the pets, okay? And so she's gonna tell us about that as well. And so once again, this is the AK Legacy Foundation. We appreciate you tuning in to our interview on today. And so without further ado, I want to bring up our guest for today, Ms. Twila McGee. Good afternoon to you.
Hi, afternoon. I'm Twila, the CEO and founder of NOLA's Finest Pet Care LLC. I am Louisiana's first by Black-owned pet care business. And I started this back in 2013. And what inspired it is at the time I had two cats, and my spouse and I had went on vacation. And at that time, the only option was really boarding. And we had such a horrible experience with the boarding facility till I was just like, okay, never again. But there has to be another way. So that was kind of like my aha moment. And so, pets are more comfortable at home. And so a year later, Nola's Finest Pet Care was born. And so since then, I've been reducing the stress levels of so many fur babies. And I had so much fun doing it. And what that does ultimately is boosts their overall health and lifespan. So the fur babies are happy, the pet parents are happy. It's a win-win for everybody.
Oh, wow. Something you just said, it expands the life of the pet. That is key because a lot of times we invest in pets and sometimes they just don't make it. And so
Mhm.
I would like to think of, you got to think about it. If we were put in a strange environment, that gives us stress, you know.
Right.
And so I can see how that would calm the stress level, take care of
Mhm.
them at home,
Right.
and then yeah, potentially expanding the life. And I love that. So, and I heard you say that you had a horrible experience, by with the options you had of something else or someone else caring for your pet while you were away. What is
Mhm.
I guess we can lead right into our first question. What is one of the tips for us if we're going to go on vacation and or go to work? What is one of your tips if we have to take the pet out of the home and put the pet somewhere else? And what would be one of your tips for us?
Well, my tips would be is if you have to go with the route of like a doggy daycare or like a boarding facility, I will highly recommend to go check out the place yourself. Okay, and actually go see and investigate where your pet is staying, and do this well in advance before you leave. Um, when I had my horrible boarding experience, I felt like I was tricked. On the website, they called it this beautiful kitty cottage, and they had all these really cute pictures. And I was like, oh, my cat, Sweetheart and Samantha, they're going to have like a very spoiled vacation while we gone. And it was like, no, when I had went in the back to check it out, it was literally like floor to ceiling of cages in like a back room. So I would highly suggest to check it out yourself and make sure that it represents what you see online. Make sure the cameras work because that's another issue too. A lot of places, they're advertised, oh, they have the cameras so you could check in on your pet while you gone just to find out, oh, it's out of order. So make sure all of those things are working and make sure that you're not, getting tricked.
Oh, wow. So it almost sounds just the same way you would treat a baby. I mean, you're
Right,
not gonna just, find a daycare online, click and pay. You want to
right,
tour the facility, you want to talk to the teacher, you want
right,
to read the reviews,
right.
you're all on Google reading the reviews, you're calling other parents. So you're basically saying they have that same energy when it comes to pets.
Exactly. Do your research, because you don't want just anybody handling your fur babies.
All right, all right. So let's talk about a lighter topic. What's going on with these pets that you're making pet treats? I mean, what is that all about?
Yeah, so actually, so I came to that conclusion well before the pandemic, but the pandemic actually gave me the opportunity to launch that. So being like a forever pet mom, like since I was a kid, basically, we spoil, one of the ways we spoil our pets is with treats. So if you go to these different big box retails, and you buy these treats or whatever, look at the ingredients. And so I tell people, if there's an ingredient that you don't know what it is, you don't even know how to pronounce it, that is a huge red flag that you might want to sit that back on the shelf. And the reason why that's so important is because research shows that the average pet parent, they give their pets like maybe 1 to 2 treats per day. Okay. So we're talking about anywhere from 30 to 60 treats per month. Okay, so if you giving your fur kid that amount of treats and it's really like byproducts, harmful ingredients, that's something else that is significantly lowering the overall lifespan and their health, which means not only are you harming your fur kid, but you also increasing your vet bills. Okay, yeah.
Yes. Ooh.
Right. So that's something where it's like we don't want to do, right, as pet parents. So with the pandemic, that gave me the opportunity to go ahead and launch my human grade pet treats. So what that means is that all of the treats are made with quality human food, but they're pet friendly. So they're good for your pets, but it's ingredients that you know what they are, apples, bananas, the peanut butter, which I make from scratch because we can't be feeding our fur babies sugar, okay, and sodium. And so that's what you're going to get if you go to the store and get a jar of peanut butter off the shelf. So with the pandemic gave me the opportunity to sell this Viva DoorDash. So this gives everybody in the New Orleans and surrounding areas, you can order these treats and have it delivered to your fur kit.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
yeah.
So the myth I was under the impression, and it's just speaking for me, the myth or the impression that I had was you couldn't feed animals, you couldn't feed pets food, like real food, like bananas and apples. I'm like, you can feed that to them. So
Yeah.
I was under the impression that those things were harmful, like they had to have dog food. I don't know where dog food came from a different planet or something, but so you're basically saying they need to eat healthy too?
Right. They just like, with people, like we have to have, our fruits and veggies, and we need to kind of stay away from the junk food. You know, it's the same thing for them, especially we just talking about, giving them a snack or giving them a treat, for being good, or if you're doing training or something like that. So, and emphasis on the pet friendly human food. Okay, so
Okay,
you don't
okay,
want to just give them, a handful of raisins or grapes. No, because they can't eat that. Okay, that is highly toxic,
okay.
to your pet. But your cats and your dogs, they can eat stuff, like apples and bananas. And when I say that, don't give them a whole one. Okay, regardless of the size, because we don't want them to choke. So if you give them an apple slice, make sure that it's cut, small to where they can eat it without the choking hazard. Same thing with peanut butter. They can eat peanut butter as long as it doesn't have any sugar, any sodium, things like that.
So it sounds like we just need to hire you to give us a consultation on how to properly feed this pet. So would you say that having a nutritional advising session with you is, something that we should consider? Even if it's not with you, with someone, but don't just buy the pet, buy some, go to the store, buy all the toys, and just assume we're just going to buy this food and life is going to be grand. I'm hearing that we need some sort of education or some kind of consultation with you.
Right, right. So actually, I do have this feature that I just launched on my website. It's called Ask the Expert. So, and this
Hey, I like that name. I like that. I like that.
And so this feature is really great, especially for new pet parents, And when I say new pet parents, not necessarily saying like this is your first time, period, but this might be your first time. Like maybe you're a cat person and this is your first time, adopting a puppy, or you're a dog person and this is your first time adopting a cat, you know those things make a difference. And so actually on that platform, you're actually booking a Zoom session with me. And we can discuss these things, discuss, okay, what do you need, how to better care for your pets, the nutritional side of it. And just as important is whatever you do, you're going to do it alongside with your vet.
Right. Well, that is amazing. I mean, it's an awakening. It's a awareness. Now, there may be many of people who are already doing this, but I'm gonna tell you, I never even considered having an advising session with someone about a new pet. I'm just thinking, I'm gonna go get this pet and I'm gonna just do what I gotta do and pray it don't die.
Right.
And and so I like that. What I'm hearing is reducing the vet bill, which is great for me, because let me tell you, we had a German Shepherd, and oh my goodness, it was like I felt like I needed like I needed to carry this pet on my taxes. I'm like, why they don't give us that option? I mean, come on.
They should.
Sure, this is starting to add up. And so reducing the vet bill, helping to expand the life of the pet, getting some new insight, just like you said, even if you're not new to this, having a session or having a sit down to kind of go over what you're currently doing, you could learn a few things you may need to change, or everything is going great. It's just good to kind of check in to make sure that we're not leaning onto our own things of what we thought. Because like I said, I honestly thought you could not give a dog anything that humans eat. I don't know why I thought that, but you don't know what you don't know. So I love all of that. And so so I want to kind of pivot a little bit just for a quick second. We're going to come back to the pet. So I want to speak to you as a business owner, as a female business owner. This is Ask the Experts, the Women in Business edition. So I want to speak to you really quick. How is entrepreneurship? Give us the real, like, how is this going?
Oh, it's fun. I mean, because especially if you have the opportunity to do something that you're passionate about and that you love doing, do it. Okay. Yes, like with everything in life, there's going to be challenges. You're going to have your rough patches, but look at that as motivation, because that's what keeps you going, and for me, it's helping as many pet parents, as many fur babies as possible. Because I personally feel like that's my mission, so I've always been a pet person, so I mean, it's an incredible journey of highs and lows, and everything is wild. And I would not give it up for anything else in the world.
Well, one thing for sure, I know for sure, is that you love what you do. I mean, you're very passionate about it. You smile when you talk about it, and you'll just go and go and go. So I'm going to bring your website up. I have your website up. I want to go over it because yes, and I'm going to kind of talk about it a little bit, and I want you to walk us through your portal here, because to me, this is something that I wouldn't have never thought of, or it's nothing I would have ever known, that you can do different things with your pet besides just feed them in the morning, take them for a walk in the evening, and put them back in the cage. It's a whole lot more to that than that. And so, yeah, you've made it fun. So she put the fun back in having a pet, almost back like we were when we were kids. So here's our website. Here you can go to NOLAfinestpets.com. But this is what I wanted to kind of talk about. She has pet art. Okay. Oh, there it is. Ask the Expert. Guys, look at that. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. So I'm going to go, let's say it's meeting you, reservation, Ask the Expert shop. All right, so let's go here to the shop tab. And she has pet art. She has a cutie baby set. I mean, Uptown Girl Pet Collection. I'm gonna have to check into that. So and so for those of you who are across the country, thank you for tuning in. But we are in Louisiana. And so when we talk about the Uptown Girl, it has that's a whole nother show. So, but anyway, she has all sorts of things for the Uptown Girl, and I love that. And so I want to go back up here to I want to see for the what am I looking for? Okay, so here we are. Look at that, y'all. Ain't that the cutest? Ain't
Yeah.
that the cutest? So I definitely want y'all to go check out the website. I'm not gonna give it all away. And here we have the artist. So tell us about the artist. Tell us how you have incorporated pets with wall art. Here it is, guys. This is what I was looking for.
So that's all my artwork. So actually, I'm a self-taught artist. I paint and I sketch and everything. And a lot of that artwork came from after spending about 6 years in Arkansas after Hurricane Katrina. And so it was a great experience, made some awesome friends in Arkansas. But after moving back, I had like this overwhelming of inspiration to create because I mean, there is no other city like New Orleans. I mean, we have the culture, the colors, and everything. So after moving back here from Katrina, that inspiration, it really gave me new love for New Orleans, more appreciation. So I started, of course, I married that with my love of pets, so that's how it started. So a lot of my products that you see incorporate artwork that I did like years ago. Some of the things are newer, and of course, it's going to be New Orleans inspired. I born and raised uptown. I'm that uptown girl. Okay, so so that's for all my uptown, girls out there, so yeah, and once again with the pandemic, my aha moment, wanted to do something different. A lot of these places you get that very simple pet bowl, which is great, but I'm extra, so when I'm shopping for stuff, whether it's for myself or my fur babies or other people, it's not going to be simple. So I figured that would be great for other pet lovers that, want something a little extra,
All right, I love it. I love it. I love that you have incorporated culture, art, and passion for caring for animals all in one. How awesome is that? Well, women in business, we're just awesome people. I mean, that's just who we are. We God has made us awesome. So let's kind of pivot back to the pets. So one last question, and then we're gonna wrap it up. How do we get a pet? Do we go to an adoption? Do we go to a pet store? Where do we start?
So me personally, my whole thing is adopt, don't shop. But hey, for those that like certain, breeds and they want that, Frenchie, they want that golden retriever, that's cool too. I would suggest if you go on that route, to find a very reputable breeder to work with and make sure that you're getting what they're telling you. So just like with the boarding facility, you might want to do a little background work and make sure they're legit. Um, as far as the adoption aspect, I feel like there's so many fur babies out there that they just want to be loved and give love. So I would start with the shelters, especially since after these hurricanes. So after Ida and all these different hurricanes, you had a lot of pet parents where unfortunately they couldn't continue caring, for their fur babies because they still don't have a home, and so they need love. So I would start there with rescue groups as well. There's a lot in the New Orleans area where you can get them, and don't be afraid of senior pets, because let me tell you, the senior pets, they can play too. They still trying to live their best life, and I feel like if you're an individual where it's like you don't really, want the hyper puppy, you want to be chilled, go for the senior pet, okay? Because they're just
All
as
right.
awesome, as the puppies.
Right. And that's interesting that you would say that, because we think, okay, the pet is 10 years old, toss it out. I mean, I'm just keeping it, how people think. And then
Right.
some people don't want the pet that's jumping all around. So a senior pet, me, I could go either way. It's
Right.
but some people are real adamant they don't want pets that are hyper.
Right.
Some people don't want pets that are what they would call lazy. I mean, you know, so
Right.
so matching, sound like you have to match the fur parent with the right fur baby.
Right.
So
Right.
I want to thank Twila for all of her wonderful tips. She has more information, you know, tell us about, I think you have a blog or how we connect with you.
Actually, I had kind of put together, since we're going into summertime, some quick tips on how to keep your fur kids happy, healthy, and hydrated. You
Okay,
know,
let's hear
we
it.
all know that water is life. Okay, but it's more than just making sure that your fur baby have access to cool, clean water. When it comes to, walking your pets, because some people walk their cats. Okay, so that is a thing. So you might want to maybe keep your walk shorter, while it's really hot outside. I tell people before you do your walk, test out how hot the pavement is. If you can't keep your hand on the ground for no longer than a couple of seconds, it is too hot for their paws. And so you might need to scratch out the walk, maybe think about getting some little, pet booties that protect their paws. I also tell people to invest in the potty pads. Okay, because things happen. We can't control the weather. If the weather is really bad, they can't go outside to use the bathroom. So maybe consider some potty pads so they can still be able to take care of their business regardless on what's going on outside. Take advantage of like the cooler times of the day. So we're talking about really early in the morning or later in the evening. And frozen treats. So actually, if you're in the New Orleans area, I do make popsicles. Okay, they
All right.
blueberry banana popsicles, and so that's a really cool way to keep your, fur kid hydrated. On summer days, go on DoorDash, they'll deliver it to you. And grooming tips. Everybody figure, okay, the best way is to just completely shave your dog down. Okay. And I tell people that you might want to consider not so much shaving them to where the skin is showing because they'll get sunburned. I mean, the fur is there for a reason, so the
Right,
fur
right.
protects them from sunburn. So you might want to consider a trim, or you might want to, just keep them inside, until it's cooler. And I can't stress anymore. So please do not leave your pets in the car.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Yes, because a lot of people, they, figure, okay, I'm gonna just run into the store right quick. It's gonna be 2 seconds. You don't know how long that line is gonna be. That 2 seconds could turn into maybe 15, 20 minutes. And just to give you an idea, in 85-degree weather, it only takes 10 minutes for the temperature to rise to 102 degrees.
Oh, wow.
Just
Oh,
10
wow.
minutes. Yeah.
Wow. Those are all some really, really, really good tips. The one where you said, not leaving them in the car. Um, and some people believe keeping the windows cracked is sufficient. So that is not the case.
No, that does not reduce the temperature in the car.
Wow.
So there's something else to keep in mind that if you figure I'm gonna run in the store right quick, I'm gonna crack the window. No, that does not make it cooler. Especially if you're in New Orleans and it's hot. It's
Well,
heat.
nothing is making, yeah, nothing. I just got hot all of a sudden thinking about the New Orleans heat. Let me tell you, down here in the South, nothing makes it cooler.
Exactly. So at that point, it only takes a few minutes for your fur baby to suffer from a heat stroke, especially if you have a pet that has a short snout like a pug.
Okay,
They already have breathing issues.
gotcha.
So you're just making it worse. So I would say, either leave your pet at home in the air condition or have a buddy run errands with you so you can have somebody in the car blasting the air condition.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I mean, Twila is a plethora of information. I mean, she's given us tips on how to get a pet, where to get the pet, what type of food, having some artwork, to not leaving to a safety tip, making sure that they're hydrated, that, and look, the paws, right? Okay, another myth. Oh, the dog or the cat, that they have skin made for walking on hot pavement. No, they do not. And just think about all those things that she just told us about will help reduce the vet bill.
Exactly.
And to give longevity to the life, to add to the longevity of the life of the pet. You say you're a pet lover? Well, let's see. Are you doing the things that Ms. Twila just told us about? And if not, this is a great day to start. And so, like I said, here at the AK Legacy Foundation, we are working on getting on one of our future projects. It's going to be connecting fur parents and fur babies together. We want to incorporate that, and that may look like us partnering with other programs and organizations such as yourself. And so I want you to tell the people how to find you and how to connect with you.
Okay, so the website is nolasfinestpets.com. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. You can find me at Nola's Finest Pet Care.
All right. Well, I want to thank Ms. Twila for taking the time to be with us on today, and to to give us her insight on how to care for our pet, and just giving us some fun tips, and also giving us some safety advice. And so we want to make sure that we go to her Instagram. We want to go to her website, check it out. Check out that artwork. I think that's the cutest. And so I want to thank her for taking the time out of her busy schedule to come on and to meet with us. So Ms. Twila, any final words for the people?
I would thank you for this opportunity, and I am here for the pet lovers and the pet parents. I love to help.
All right. Well, you all have a great day. Thank you for tuning in to Ask the Experts. Don't forget to like, share, comment, tell someone about it. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We need you to be a part of our movement. You all have a great day.